I apologize for that, chat. The internet just up and died. I have no control over that, and,
Hang on one sec. I'm trying to see if I can get the stream back up on Twitch. Ah, there it is. No, come on, you son of a...
Alright. Okay.
There we go.
I apologize again for that, chat. I have no control over that. And, Where was the last time I had, left off before everything went to shite?
Let me see. There was talk of, I think it was dodging, something about dodging sand, if I remember correctly. Gotten past that point with the lizard being crushed. I can see we're past the point where what's currently on your screen.
Okay.
Just bear in mind, mine's a little bit delayed.
So, the three girls actually did their attack, and Gara seemingly was down. Azula was stalking towards Aang, trying to attack, but then they realized that that what they fought was actually a duplicate, and they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. That's where we left off, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Chat, what about you, chat? Is that where you also left out too, or something? Because if that is, we're gonna try to continue from there. Again, I apologize for the sudden abruption of that. I really hope that's the last time.
ISPs are such a pain sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just remember, it's not your fault.
It still doesn't make it feel,
Yeah, it's frustrating. Just don't let it get you down. We're still here doing the reading.
Okay. Alright, what is it, girls? Azula asked. Azula! That guy you took down! He was actually an empty shell of sand! Tylee gasped. Azula turned to see a cracking shell duplicate of Gara. She became surprised. If that's not him, then where is he? Asked May. They looked around in different directions. The atmosphere became tense as their eyes seeked the missing sand ninja. Azula stood her ground, ready to attack if he appears. Then she heard a seeping sound of rushing sand behind her. She spins around to see where the sound is coming from. It came from Gara, who was standing nearby as she saw sand falling down on his head. His cold eyes stare intently at her, cracks appearing on his face. Fear struck Azula's heart, but her confidence didn't waver. You called me a sand freak, didn't you? Gara questioned the Fire Princess. Then he suddenly looked very scary. Well, you're dead! He formed a tiger seal, and sand flew right in front of her. She tries to escape, but the sand grabbed her leg and tosses her back and forth. Aang and his friends watched the battle with awe. I can't believe this! Katara felt as though she couldn't breathe. He got away from that fall, but where did he get the cracks on his face? I don't know, Katara, Aang replied, but he's not so bad for a sandbender. Aang, what are you talking about? He's not like any sandbender we met, Sokka protested. He's too powerful to be an ordinary one. Toph had to agree with Sokka. Something tells me he's not from around here, she tells her companions. As the battle continues, Gaara-san finally released Azula. In her anger, she shot out a blue flame at him, but the sand formed a shield around him to block the attack. The sand then turned into spikes and was ready to strike when Ty Lee quickly snuck up behind Gaara and hit him on the shoulder where the arrow was once been. Gaara groaned in pain, and he fell onto his knees, and the pain swarmed all over his shoulders. Well, shoulder, my bad. Well then, you fought well, Azula mocked at the sand ninja as she wiped a small trickle of blood flowing down from her mouth. But you're no match for us. She dashed towards him, a lightning blade crackling in her hand. She was about to strike down Gaara when she heard someone shouting, "Kagebunshi no Jutsu!" 3 identical blonde-haired boys jumped out from the sky, and they all kicked her away. Azula landed next to Mei and Ty Lee. She staggers and she gets on her feet and glares at the person who attacked her. 2 of the identical boys disappeared in a cloud of smoke as the third one remained. Naruto Uzumaki glares at the 3 girls who assaulted his friend. "Nobody messes with Gaara when I'm here!" he yelled. Oh, great. More company. Mei yawned. "Naruto, why are you here? This is my fight," Gaara asked. He is still in pain from Ty Lee's hit. "'Cause we're looking for you! That's why!" Naruto answered. "Your name is Naruto, huh?" I'm gonna ignore her saying his full name because I didn't put that there, so his normal name will have to do, his first name basis. "Your name is Naruto, huh? Coming for your dear friend's rescue?" Azula sneered. I think that's the sound of Steve's mom just finally got back.
Alright.
And from the way that sounds like, I guess the dogs had just barged their way through.
Fun.
And I just realized I forgot to do mopping of the floor earlier. Ugh.
Ooh, dear.
I think I'll be fine, but at the same time, not so much really. But let's continue. "Oh, I'm not alone," said Naruto. "Oh yeah? Oh yeah? You and what army?" Ty Lee asked as she was about to pounce onto the new arrival. But then she realized to her horror, she couldn't move. What's going on? I can't move!" she cried. Azula and Mei, Aang and his friends, except Toph, saw Ty Lee's shadow was attached to someone not far away. It was Shikamaru, and he was grinning. "Are we late?" he asked. "Shikamaru?" Gaara stares at him. "Did you see that? That guy just stopped Ty Lee by controlling her shadow!" Katara gasped. "Cool!" Sokka and Aang exclaimed. "I don't see what's so great about it," Toph remarked flatly. "Even I can't see what's going on." Mei threw a couple of darts at Shikamaru, who dodged out of the way and releasing Ty Lee's shadow. Then in a flash, Shikamaru, Kiba, Sakura, and Neji appeared next to Naruto, ready to fight. "Don't forget, we are the ninjas from Konoha and Tsunagakure, and you better not mess with us," Neji said to the 3 girls. "Azula, I think we're outnumbered," Mei tells her. But Azula is not the only one who will accept defeat easily. "No matter. I'll finish them all at once." Suddenly, sand grabbed her leg, as she tried to escape, but she couldn't. Sabakakyo! Gaara hissed as he closed his fist. The sand crushed her leg, and Azula screamed in pain. She was about to fall when Ty Lee catches her. She and Mei took the fallen princess, and they rode away in the remaining lizards. Aang and Sokka and Naruto cheered as they watched them leave, and the sand returned to the gourd on Gaara's back. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Are you busy?
Yeah, why? What's wrong?
I just needed help unloading something.
Oh,
But,
give me a moment. I'll be there shortly.
okay.
You need to take a break?
A little bit in a moment. It's just that, I gotta be, it's just that, well, Steve's mom just came back, and she wants me to, and she needs my help to unload stuff from her car. I hope that's not too much, but hopefully, but let's try to wrap up this chapter, and then I'll be right back, okay?
Alright, that works.
Okay. Woo! That has gotta be the best fights I've ever seen! Sokka whooped. Then he turns to Toph. I bet you're jealous of Gaara, Toph. No, I am not. Toph said as she's trying to hide her anger. Oh, hey there, Danny Lockhart. Welcome.
Hello, Danny.
Okay. He wants to thank you for standing up to those 3 girls. Katara turns to the ninjas. No big deal, Kiba said. Akamara gave a happy bark. Say, who are you guys? Aang asked the ninjas. He felt a deep respect for them after they stood up against Azula. But first, who are you? Naruto asked Aang. Sakura angrily hits her friend on the head. Ow! Sakura! That was very rude of you. He asked you first. Sakura shouted at Naruto. Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay, Aang said, a little taken aback from Sakura's outburst. I'm Aang. These are my friends, Sokka, Katara, and Toph. Hey, Aang, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Then, Naruto noticed the blue arrow on Aang's head. Hey, what's with that? Hey, what's up? What's with the arrow? Sakura hits him again in the head for being rude by asking personal questions. Naruto whimpered in pain. Neji turned to Aang. Don't mind him. We're looking for the Avatar. Do you know where he is? Aang and his friends' eyes became wide of surprise. So, I guess these are the allies you were talking about, Gaara? Toph asked him. Gaara didn't answer her. He's right here, Sokka told Neji as he placed a hand on Aang's shoulder. End of chapter 5. It's a little bit... I think it feels a little bit better when I actually narrated it that, didn't I? Didn't I?
Sorry, say again.
I think it actually feels nice when I narrated it that way, haven't I?
It does.
With a little less on the commentary because we're doing a redo of this, the concentration is a little bit higher this time around because, well, because the focus is all there. But unfortunately, I'm gonna be right back. I'm hopefully this will only take about 5 minutes, and hopefully by then 5 maybe 10 minutes. Because Steve's mom needs help unloading stuff. Okay, so I'll be right
we'll
back.
take 5 then.
Be right back. Okay, back in 5 minutes. There we go. Okay, I'll be right back.
See you in 5. Hello, Morris. You've caught Mikoto AFK.
You rolling?
Hey, I'm not sure if you heard me earlier, as I said, Mikoto has gone AFK for IRL stuff.
Right. All right. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna say that she was asking which one was worse, hers or mine.
Yours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, I figured
How do I
because
put this? Hers is using material from an established narrative. I can't say I follow the narrative of yours particularly well with no prior knowledge. Like, I don't mean that to be insulting, and just being honest.
That's fine. I get it. Yeah, mine's a bit more. I would say mine's much worse because of the one particular part of the story. I think you can tell which one.
It's kind of tough, actually. It's a bit of a fever dream.
Yeah, it's somewhere near the end of chapter 3. Where'd you go? The end of chapter 3. Near the end of chapter 3. Where he has to put the bullet to his weenie.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, that's gonna be a character that's coming in the character from that. The villain character from that in particular is gonna be a character coming in October. If we even get that far. But I'm confident we'll make it, we'll manage. Of course, there's a couple polls and how the next character is going to be constructed. So I'll just post the one.
Meanwhile, I've been playing an egregious amount of the Spider-Man release on PC now.
Nice.
It works
Yeah.
surprisingly well, but I have encountered one very problematic bug where my audio gets progressively worse, and I have to restart the entire game to fix it. Or maybe that's just the game's way of telling me you've been playing for 3 hours straight, please stop.
Oh no.
What? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Welcome back. Morris has joined us as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Morris. It took me a little longer for me to come back because, well, it turns out that the stuff that that Steve's mom wants me to move out from her car is actually an old desk that belongs to Granny, aka Steve's grandmother. But it's a light desk,
No, that must
actually.
have been
It's actually a light desk, and it's actually a pretty looking desk.
Oh, that's good to know at the very least.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you all, everyone, for actually waiting for me to come back. And now we're going to try to resume. Oh, hello. Found a D20 die today, so I got my first one D20. Oh, that's really nice, Danny Lockhart. I'm happy for you. Okay. Can anyone hear me, though? Am I coming out loud and
Just
clear?
at the stream, you seem to be coming fine through the stream based on what I just checked.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I was also making a comment about how my particular story was much worse than what you thought yours is, because a particular part of it. I don't think you can guess what.
I guess so, but I'd rather not question it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. This is written back in 2007, folks. It's 15 years ago. Now, without further ado, let us now resume and continue Naruto Meets Aang Chapter 6. Hopefully with me doing serious mode when it comes to reading, and trying to ignore every little bits of typos here and there, we can actually try to speed through this fastly, and hopefully, just hopefully, we can squeeze in a chapter or two that we haven't read yet. How many chapters
For the best.
How many chapters are there? This is chapter 6 out of 15, so yes. Chapter 6, The Ninja of the Dark Legion. Somewhere later in the forest, Azula, Tylee, and May are still moving from the battlefield behind them. Azula was still injured from her fight. I won't forgive him, she thought angrily. I won't forgive him. She thought angrily as her combat scenes with Gaara keep running inside of her mind. He will be finished. I will make sure he stays that way. But first, I need a stronger alliance than just May and Tylee. As they pass by a tree, 3 mysterious beings with incredible agility jump on one branch and to another while they follow the fleeing girls. We sure do show them, Naruto said proudly. Yeah, I mean, look how they run. They are wimps when it comes to the big boys. Kiba agreed. Then they heard Sakura clearing her throat. The boys blushed sheepishly from their loud behavior. So, let me get this straight, Sokka began. You guys said you're both Konoha and, Suna whatchamacallit. Ninjas from another dimension, right? Sunagakure. Gaara corrected the Water Tribe boy in a cold voice. Sokka, however, just ignored him. Well, Naruto, Sakura, Kiba, and Shikamaru and I are ninjas from Konoha. Gaara is a Suna ninja, Neji replied. And your mission is to come here to stop the Dark Legion, correct? But to do so, you need Aang's help, right? Katara asked. That's right, Sakura replied. I know we didn't know much of each other that long, Aang started. But why do you need my help? Because you are the master of the 4 elements, and you're the last hope of this world. Plus, if we all work together, we're unbeatable, Neji told him. Aang didn't say anything else. He heard Neji correctly. Aang was always eager to help someone in need, but after losing Appa and the burden of the master of all 4 elements before Sozin's comet arrives or Fire Lord Ozai would become very powerful. He wasn't sure if he can help his new friends to stop the sinister legion. It seems as if all the burden and pressure of the entire world is weighing down all on him because he was the Avatar. But he knew that if he couldn't help stop the new legion, then more people will die and the victory will be in the hands of the Fire Nation. Aang is struggling with this dilemma and these thoughts, but it seems hopeless. What proof do you have that proves you belong to another world? Aang hears Toph. Well, what proof do you have that proves you belong to another dimension? Aang hears Toph asking Neji. Well, we have this. Neji took the gemstone out of his bag. As soon as his eyes lay on the stone, Aang began to feel dizzy. He shook his head and he said, That's the keystone. It helps make people go from one dimension to or more. Hey, how do you know that? Naruto asked, looking shocked. I don't know. I just kinda know how that stone works. Aang replied. Sokka made a coughing sound in his throat to get everyone's attention. Okay, I know the battle ended some time ago, but I got a couple of questions that may concern my friends and me. he said. 1. How did Gaara get cracks on his face when he battled Azula? No human can do that. Then the ninjas fell into silence. Sokka looked at each of the ninjas' faces, waiting for their answer. Finally, Gaara spoke up. You will not like this, Sokka, the Sand Ninja said quietly. You see, I am not fully human. I have a monster inside of me. Aang's, Katara, Sokka's, and eyes grew wide while Naruto's head bent low. After I was born, my mother was a sacrifice to the Shukaku, a demon which was attacking my village a long time ago. They then sealed it inside of me according to my father's plan. Since I turned 6, I became alone as the people around feared and hated me. Because of that, I became a ruthless fighter, fighting for blood. But with Naruto's help, I realized true loyalty, and I began to care for others. And this is how I am today. Gaara said. So, you have a monster inside of you? Sokka asked, his eyes widened with fright. Gaara nodded as Sokka fainted. How sad, Toph remarked when she saw Toph remarked when she saw the earth with her bare feet. That's terrible, Aang said. He felt sorry for Gaara. Gaara's not the only one. All eyes turned to see Naruto frowning. I have a 9-tailed fox demon in me. The strongest demon in my dimension. They sealed the fox inside of me when I was a baby. When I was growing up, I used to pull pranks and goof around my village so I can get the attention from people because I have no family. There was no one there to look up to me. But then my teacher Iruka did. After that, I'm not alone anymore because I have people who cared for me. And I care for them too. Naruto smiled at Aang, and Aang smiled at Naruto. He could feel a strong bond forming between the two of them, and it was that moment that Aang is ready to help Naruto and the ninjas to stop the Dark Legion. Okay. So, wait. So, what ninja moves can you guys do? Katara asks as she tries to wake up Sokka. There are many types of attacks we ninjas do, but those are pretty long to tell them all of you. Oh, okay, Ninji.
Yeah, it's pretty great, but I can't actually tell you.
There's not much cringe happening here, but
Well, we're kind of trying to speed run through the cringe. I mean, and this is kind of like a serious narration after all. And if you actually try to ignore the cringe to do the serious mode, it actually sounds kind of normalish, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like my redemption arc in trying to get the stream to work ever since last week. After all, my voice was not
unfortunate.
My voice last week was never recorded through OBS while doing the stream, and as a result, nobody got to hear my cries of cringe whenever I stumble upon them into this chapter. But we're gonna go try to speed through this into serious narration mode, and hopefully we might squeeze a chapter or two, you know. But here we go. Here, let's continue where we left off. Well, it's best if we get moving. Shikamaru suggested. Who knows what monster or creature will come out and scare us? Suddenly, they heard Akamaru and Momo hissing towards the forest. They saw fog forming around the trees, and it was slowly creeping up towards them. Something doesn't feel right, Kiba said. Ew! Who made that stench? Sokka shouted as his head shot up, now fully awake. Hey, I didn't do it, Naruto proclaimed. That's the smell of rotting carcass, Gara said. Am I having a feeling someone's also here? Sakura said as she looks around the trees. Guys, stay calm. I'll handle this. Byakugan! Then, Neji looked at the trees in his Byakugan vision. He saw people on the trees launching arrows right at them. Split up! Neji yelled. Without waiting to be told twice, the gang split up in different directions. The arrows exploded as soon as they hit the ground. Exploding tags and arrows? Who would attack us like that? Sakura wondered out loud as she and Katara hid behind the bush. I don't know. Well, let's get out of here, Katara said. Wait! Sakura stopped the waterbender from running away. Then Sakura looked back at the riverbed. When the smoke clears away, she saw 10 figures standing there. One of them is the boy from the forest, back in chapter 2. The boy walked to the ash-covered campfire and grinned. He gave a signal to his companions as they disappeared into thin air. Sakura took out a speaker from her pocket and turned it on. Sakura, what's your position? She heard Neji speaking on the other end of the speaker. I'm at the southeast of the resting point. Neji, I took a little close look of our new company, and it looks like these aren't ordinary people, Sakura said. I know. Just remember, stay with Katara. Don't get separated. Sakura! Katara screamed in horror. Sakura turns around to see a soldier in black. Okay, let me try to reiterate that properly. Let's see. Yeah, it was being a bitch. Thank you, Danny Lockhart, for relating to my pain. Okay. Sakura turned around to see a soldier in black leaping in front of the girls and was about to hit him with an axe. Sakura used a kunai to stop the blade to cut her through. Katara then used her water whip to knock out the soldier. What's going on? Neji asked in the speaker. We had a surprise attack from the enemy, replied Sakura. You're not the only ones who had a hard time. At Neji, Kiba, Shikamaru, and Sokka's battle, their opponents are ninjas in black feudal outfits, throwing shurikens at the boys. Neji looked closer at the shurikens, and his eyes grew wide. They're shuriken bombs! He then formed a shield by spinning around very fast to deflect the exploding weapons. The smoke clears away, and Sokka's boomerang flies out, and it hit one of the ninjas in the head. Who are these guys? Sokka shouted. Something tells me they're not from the Fire Nation you guys told us. Then his shadows attached to one of them, as their shadow is now attached to the other ninja. Kagemari no Jutsu works completely. Wait, where's Kiba? Neji asked. Way ahead of you, Neji. Kiba said as he was sitting on the ninja which he knocked out earlier. Do these guys ever heard of a bath? 'Cause they reek. At Gaara and Toph's battle, 2 black armored samurais came out of the thin layer of smoke screen of the explosion. Toph took her battle stance right next to Gaara. I can defeat them myself. I don't need your help, she said to him. You can't fight 2 at the same time, Gaara said. We'll see. Then, one of the samurai swords squished right in front of Toph, but it extended so long it almost reached up to her neck. Before it could hit her, the rock grabbed the leg of the samurai, and she created a cage of earth. But the blade continued to extend and was ready to cut her neck when Gaara-san grabbed the blade and snapped it into 2. He throws the sharp-edged blade at the second samurai, and he was quickly died when it landed on his chest. For some reason, Toph became furious at Gahara. As the battle was over, all the heroes reached back to their camp. Is anyone injured? Neji asked. No, we're good. These people were trying to kill us, but what did we do to them? Aang wondered. Then they hear slow clapping sounds. They turn to see the boy with white hair and eyes staring at them with a grin on his face. Are you the boss behind this? Naruto asked, glaring at the boy. Correct. I'm glad to see you all. Correct. I'm glad to see you all fought fairly well, but I'm not impressed with the Avatar and the Nine-Tailed Fox Kid, he said coolly. Who are you? Katara asked. I am Shugo of the Dark Legion. I sent those men to attack you to see if you are worthy of our future battles. My second wave of attack won't be like this, I promise you. Until then, stay alive. He then disappeared in the small black smoke. Guys, those people we fought earlier are actually dead people! Sokka shrieked when he saw a skull out of the body. Everyone became very scared and surprised when they heard this. Azula and her friends were sitting on the stools as a nurse wrapped bandages around the Fire Prince's wounded leg. Then a general and 2 soldiers behind him came and entered the tent. Azula then told the nurse to leave, and then she looked at the general. Yes, General, she said. You have some visitors, Your Majesty. We are very much honored to meet you. The general told her. I have no interest in seeing people today. Really? Then the general is now speaking in another voice to Azula's surprise. Then we thought you will be more acceptable. Then a puff of smoke surrounded the general and the 2 soldiers, and they revealed themselves to be Itachi Uchiha, Kisame, and Deidara. Forgive us, young princess, but we are the Akatsuki ninjas. Itachi introduced himself and his companions. End of chapter 6.
Alright. Now on to the next one.
We are
How far are we from catching up?
Well, since this is we have now reached to a point where we're here at the 2-parter point, where chapter 7 was split into 2 parts, and
Oh,
yeah, and chapter 7 is where we actually left off on last week's run with the Cringe Fiction Thursday. And I thought things were perfectly okay, if not a little bit heartbreaking. But that was until I realized to my horror that OBS didn't record my voice at all. So that was also heartbreaking on itself. So we're going to try to see if we can pursue a little bit more on chapter 7. And hopefully, just hopefully, we can finally go into chapter 8, if not up to chapter 9 today.
Alrighty. Good news is so far, it looks like the audio is fine.
Oh, thank God. Alright. Is everyone ready for the first part of chapter 7?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Chapter 7. Who Says They Were Just 3? Part 1. The next morning, the Genins and Aang's group woke up from their long rest last night. They had been sleeping on the forest floor since last night, Bagara's the only one who was sitting on the tree branch above them. Katara, Sakura, and Shikamaru were arranging their sleeping bags so in case if they make camp again. Then everyone gathered around Sokka, who was holding up a map which they took from the legendary library. Okay, from this map, we're all right here. There's a village not too far from here. It'll take us, I predict, almost 2 days to reach there since we're going on foot. Okay. There's a lake in that direction. We can also cross the lake to go or go around it if we have to reach the village. Sakura said, examining the map over Sokka's shoulder. Alright. We have to be careful from now on, since we got those 3 girls on our back, Shikamaru said. Who says there's just 3? We got that Shugo guy too. His second wave of attack will come at any time, Naruto said. Okay, that's right. Even if we don't want to be caught off guard, we have to be aware of what goes on around us. Our enemies may be hiding, and they're listening to this conversation right now, Aang said. Everyone looked around the camp, as if they were looking for any hidden foe ready to strike. Both Big Mouth and Twinkle Toes are right. I say we have to move on faster a lot then. How fast can you ninja guys run anyway? Toph asked the nearest Genin ninja nearest to her. Really fast. Want to give it a try while we're moving out? Kiba inquired eagerly. Oh no, there is no way you're making me, Toph said. I can't believe you made me! Toph screamed as she clinged onto Neji's back while they jumped into incredible speed from one branch to another. I won't lie, I actually like that. I actually like that smash cut.
That transition, yeah.
Yep. I'll give 15-year-old Mickey a bronze star for that one.
Great for effort.
Woo! We're moving fast! Sokka exclaimed excitedly, riding on Shikamaru's back. Why do I have to give him a piggyback ride? Shikamaru thought. Whoa! You guys are catching up to me! Aang said to the Genins while he flew on his glider. You should have seen us when we're in combat! Naruto grinned as he leaped onto another branch. At this rate, we'll reach the lake in half an hour, Sakura said while carrying Katara. The ninjas kept moving on. However, they failed to notice a white bird perching on a branch and flew away as they ran past it. The white bird flew towards the tent entrance and perched onto Deidara's hand. The bird suddenly deforms into his palm mouth, and it was gone in a bite. Then Itachi came out of the tent and approached to Deidara. Any news? Itachi asked. Yeah, I know where they're going. Deidara replied. In a flash, the ninjas appeared right in front of the lake. Katara, Sokka, and Toph got down from Sakura, Shikamaru, and Neji's backs. Here's the lake. What do you think? Kiba said to Akamaru as he replied with 3 barks. It seems pretty okay. Not much, Toph said. I'll go take some water with me since I'm out, Katara said as she opens the water seal skin. Wait a minute, didn't you have enough water since yesterday? Sokka asked. Sakura and I used it up to defeat that undead guy with the axe yesterday, Katara replied. Banzai! All of them heard gleeful shrieks of Naruto and Aang as they both dived into the water. They apparently took off their clothes as they are now swimming around the lake in their boxers. They pop out of the water and gasp for air. The water's fine, guys! Join us! Naruto exclaimed. Naruto? Aang began slowly when he looked behind Naruto. Okay. Sokka, Toph, Katara, look at what we ninjas can do! Then Naruto stand on the water with his feet. We can control our chakra with our feet, and we can stand in the water! I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I know I'm on serious mode, but I'm not gonna say that. I am not going weeb to... not yet. Just not yet. Not yet. Just not yet. Not yet. Then they saw Katara covering her eyes and laughing uncontrollably. Neji, Sokka, and Shikamaru's jaw slacked wide and eyes widened. Kiba was trying hard not to laugh, while Gaara and Tops are both have unamused faces. I fail to see what's so funny, Toph murmured. Alright, I can't see at all. What's with the faces? Naruto questioned. Naruto, I was gonna tell you that your boxers sorta slipped out when we dived into the water, Aang said sheepishly when he held up Naruto's swimming undergarment. What the? Naruto said as he looked down. Oh, Naruto! Sakura growled, her eye twitching creepily frightened Naruto. Showing your big ass is funny, right? Sakura, wait a minute! Naruto said as he stepped back. Sakura gave a mighty roar of annoyance and fury and began chasing the butt-naked blonde beginning all over the lake. Come back here! I'll maim your sorry ass! Sakura screamed angrily. Spare me, Sakura! Naruto pleaded. Now what's going on? You are lucky you're blind, Toph, because the view isn't pretty at all, Gaara replied. Flying over the trees, Itachi, Azula, Kisame, Mei, Deidara, and Ty Lee were sitting on the giant clay bird that was carrying all of them. Azula was using the telescope to see what's going on. A wicked smile played across her face as she puts away the telescope. They're down there, just like Deidara said, Azula said. When will we get to strike? Kisame asked eagerly. Hold on, Kisame. We will strike when the time is right, Itachi said. That's a brilliant idea, Itachi. After all, my leg just got recovered. Azula agreed. It was nothing, young princess. My healing bird did its best. My healing clay did its best to make you stand again. Deidara said. Azula raised the telescope again, observing the gang from down below. She gave a silent growl when she saw Gaara. I swear he will regret the day he damaged my leg, she hissed. Mid-afternoon came and saw the gang start. Mid-afternoon gang and the gang okay, I need some water for this. It's important.
Oh, I need a drink.
It's important to hydrate because reading aloud is not an easy task. Mid-afternoon came, and the gang are starting to move out after their stay near the lake. Well, I hope you guys learned a lesson to about not diving in the lake without asking us, Sakura told Aang and Naruto. Then she added a glare to the latter. And swimming without your boxers! Oh. Naruto moaned while rubbing a large lump on his head. We best get moving. We best get a move on. Neji began. We might get a head start towards the nearest village before nightfall. Hey, guys, look! I found this handmade clay turtle. Sokka came strolling towards the group, holding a small clay turtle. I think it's pretty cute. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about it. Shikamaru mutters. Akamaru sniffed the air, and he suddenly barked, startling everyone. Kiba realized what's going on, and he grabbed the turtle and threw it towards the lake as far as he can. Hey, why did you do that? Sokka shouted. Before everyone watched the turtle landed on the calm water. An explosion, like that of a bomb, rang out loud in everyone's ears. Big waves of water shoot up into the air and landed back into the lake. What was that? Aang said worriedly, recovering from the deafening explosion. Neji's eyes scanned around and saw small clay animals lying around. They then started to glow in an eerie manner. Gaara! Neji yelled. Gaara quickly gets into the message, and his sand shoots out from his gourd to create one large shield to cover the gang, while Toph placed in 4 curved pillars to support the shield. At that very moment, all the clay animals exploded, and it created a small ring of explosions and minor forest fires. The waves of the explosions are so powerful, the pillars are starting to crack, and the sand was breaking apart. Inside the shield of rock and sand, Gaara and Toph kept holding the barriers to prevent themselves and their friends from getting crushed. I don't think we can hold on much longer. We have to move out! Toph shouted. How? Sakura said. Then Toph stamped on her foot as it made a hole right in the middle of the ground. Get in! Gaara demanded. Then the gang jumped inside it, including Toph and Gaara, as they let go of the pillars and shield. Inside of the dark. Rats, I can't see a thing! Naruto complained. Oh, shut up. Kiba mutters. Akamaru barks in agreement. In the surface, not far from the lake, a hole appeared in the ground, and the group came out one at a time. That was close. I thought we would be dead back there. Katara sighed in relief. It's a shame you all didn't die at all. Everyone spun around to see Azula leaning against the tree, smirking. That's impossible. You're supposed to be wounded from the last fight we fought, Gaara said. You know, you thought I won't stand for a long time? Think again. But there are some people who would love to play with you. Azula sneered. At that moment, Ty Lee and Mei came out of the tree where Azula is, but on the branch. Itachi and Kisame appeared in a flash. Naruto's eyes widened as he saw Itachi's face. Wait a minute! You're Sasuke's brother! You're the one I fought back in Konoha! Naruto said as he pointed to Itachi. I see you remembered, Itachi said as his eyes closed. But I'm afraid you won't escape from us. When his eyes opened, they turned into the next level of the Sharingan eyes. Bakken yo Sharingan! At that same time, the gang started to sink into the earth slowly. Huh? I'm sinking! Aang said. Get me out! Get me out! Sokka cried as he tried to pull himself out from the sinking. Guys, don't panic! It's a genjutsu! In other words, an illusion! Neji tells his comrades. I'll handle this. Release! Sakura said as she formed a seal. At that moment, the gang stopped sinking when they saw their feet back on the ground. Whew, at least it's a genjutsu, Shikamaru said. Then the gang saw Sokka as he looks like he's swimming on the ground. Get me out! Get me out! Sokka said. Relax, Toph. Relax, Sokka. It's just an illusion. Toph said. Illusion? What? It feels so real I was going under, Sokka said, blushing with embarrassment. That's weird. I thought you said your genjutsus would kill them, Azula said, frowning at Itachi. They should thank their lucky stars then, Itachi replied. Suddenly, water bubbles came out right underneath Aang's feet. They then swarm around the young airbender, creating a large bubble of water and covering him in it. Aang! Katara screamed as she tries to bend the water bubble. It's too late, Missy. No one can escape my water cage. Not even the Avatar, Kisame said. An angry look broke out Katara's face. She raised her arms and created a large water wave from the lake and behind her throw it at Kisame. Naruto, Neji, Kiba, Gaara, Sakura, Shikamaru, Toph, and Sokka were facing against Itachi, Azula, Mei, and Ty Lee. Tell your face friend to let go of Aang! Naruto demanded angrily. Fish face! Kisame repeated, looking offended. I am not, Itachi said, which makes Naruto angry when his companions dash forward and Azula's and Itachi's dash forward too. Aang, trapped inside the water cage, watched in worry, trying to hold his breath for as long as he can. The heroes and villains collide to another fight again. To be continued. And, well, I think that actually turned out pretty okay in serious mode. I mean, I almost broke there when it comes to the cringe peaks that's in this thing, but I'm okay. I'm holding on okay.
So far, it's turned out pretty good.
It doesn't seem as cringe, but then again, that's I'm not entirely. I've not familiarized myself with this sort of content because of a bit of self-isolation from the outside world, in a way. But
Well, that's strange. Given that given that the series Naruto, or let alone Avatar: The Last Airbender, was very well known, that it does spread internationally. I mean, it reached to the Philippines. I thought it might reach to you right over there in Canada.
I didn't see it because I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
Yeah, so it was a somewhat similar situation for me in South Africa. Like, I was aware of Naruto, I just didn't get into it at the time.
Oh. Well, I can't say I blame you, I guess.
Yeah, I was too busy watching Dragon Ball, to be honest.
What about Avatar: The Last Airbender, though?
Oh, that I definitely got to watch. I was a very avid watcher of it at the time.
Hold on. Given that we're gonna be going to the second part of this, I'm gonna need something, a little piece of reward, if you will. Oh, sorry if I sound weird. I just took
Chocolate?
Not chocolate. I just took a bite out of sour Skittles, you know?
Oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 'cause I like candy, and among them is sour candy sometimes. Any advice to improve my Pokemon fanfic? I only got the prologue done. I think my advice is try to proofread and reread your fanfic to see if you have any typos, let alone some grammar mistakes. Another thing that could actually help you out is installing Grammarly, and I'm gonna type out this how it's spelled so you can actually look this up. But Grammarly is actually what I use to help me out when it comes to writing my stories. It can be available. It's available to public, and its further features are something you have to pay for. But the beginning But the free stuff is something that I use most, and Grammarly actually helps you out when it comes to grammatical errors, as well as punctuation errors and such. I really hope that helps. So, is everyone ready to tackle on the second part of chapter 7?
I am.
All right. So, let us begin on. Oh yeah, another thing that could actually help you out when it comes to your craft. It's important to find friends who will serve as your beta readers. Beta readers are kind of like your basically your readers who can actually help you out on being your on seeing the first draft, as well as giving you pointers on how to fix that first draft in order to become a better product. I only to put it to perspective, when I was growing up, my sister is also my beta reader whenever I try to get my hand into writing, especially to the Naruto meets Aang series. Eventually, I just kind of stopped because my sister became a better writer than I did, and, well, I don't want to disturb her much more in her craft. Not to mention, I kind of annoy her a little bit. Anyways, let us continue more into the second half of Chapter 7. Chapter 7. Who Says There Are Just Three? Part 2. Zuko and Ira were walking on the road after they got through the desert. They suddenly stopped as they saw a crossroads sign in front of them. Great. Another crossroad, Zuko said. It's alright, Prince Zuko. This time, this crossroad will lead us to a better path, Iroh said. Oh yeah? The last time we picked left, it led us to a saber-toothed moose lion. I suggest we take something else, Zuko said. Your uncle may be right, young man, an old man said. Yeah, it's okay. I won't tell anyone you're from the Fire Nation. Mum's the word. So, are you saying we should go left? Zuko asked. Oh, absolutely. Plus there's a village there where there's a village there where a few fugitives stayed. You'll love it there, the old man said. Thank you, old friend. Then Zuko and Iroh took the left road. As they were gone underneath the trees, five black ninjas appeared right behind the old man. But Shugo appeared in the black puff of smoke. Good job, Ira. Leading them to our trap is now according to plan, Shugo said. Then the old man suddenly transformed into a young teenage girl from black smoke. Of course, Shugo-kun. I've turned into a weeb just now. Oh. That's 3 cringe damage I just took. Let me reiterate that. Of course, Shugo. Things will come according to plan. I'll do anything to make you in a good mood, Ira said. Tell the other dark ninjas to get ready, Shugo ordered. Then the ninjas disappeared in a flash alongside with Shugo and Ira. Sokka was breaking daggers as some of them were trying to hit him. When Mei threw tons of daggers at Sokka, Neji got up and did many combo attacks with his Hakekusho. After all of the daggers were on the ground and dented. Never mess with the Hyugas of Konoha, he said. Kiba was facing Ty Lee, waiting for the right moment to strike. Do you really want to hurt me? Ty Lee asked. I was gonna
Actually, yes.
I was trying to ask the same question, Kiba said. Akamaru barked. Then Ty Lee cartwheeled herself to Kiba in a good speed of agility. Shikyaku no jutsu! Then Kiba's hands were on the ground as he starts running like a wolf. When he was near Ty Lee, Akamaru jumped on Kiba's back and bit on Ty Lee's braid. "Ow! Get off!" Ty Lee screamed. "No thanks, because Akamaru likes to chew on it as if it were a chew toy," Kiba said. In another battle, Azula was shooting blue flames at Sakura as she was trying to deflect every move Azula did. Shikamaru, now's a good time to use the Kagemane. "I'm working on it," Shikamaru said, and he formed a hand seal as his shadow stretched directly to Itachi's. But all of a sudden, Itachi disappeared at the moment just as the moment the shadow reached him. Then Itachi reappeared behind Shikamaru and kicked him at the back. "Shikamaru!" Sakura cried. Then she saw a blue flame coming towards her, and she dodged it before she got burned. Katara was firing water whips at Kisame, but he always cut the whips with his large sword in his hands. "Let Aang go!" Katara said as she made a larger whip. "What makes you say that?" Then, with a slash, Kisame's sword, the water petals around him, had dashed towards her and hit her with a hard force. But Katara stood her ground, and some of her hair got messed up. "I control the water much more than you, Missy, and there's nothing you can do about it," he said. Then Katara used the puddles around her to make the water octopus as she was ready to strike. "You'll never learn," Kisame said. Then, meanwhile, Toph and Gaara were standing near beside each other, waiting for the enemy to come out. "Everyone is fighting. Where's our opponent?" Toph said impatiently. "He'll come out. I know it," Gaara said. Then the sound of flapping wings are starting to grow louder as it brought up Gaara's attention. When he looked behind Toph, 2 clay birds with 4 wings are approaching to Toph, ready to explode. He then lit the sand to shield Toph as the birds got exploded when they touched it. "What was that?" Toph asked Gaara. That was the same clay animal," Gaara said. You mean the ones that are the explosive kinds that nearly killed us?" "Yeah." "Bring it on," Toph said as she took her stance. "I knew this cheeky little blind brat would ask for it." Deidara thought as he threw more clay birds at Gaara and Toph. When Aang was still inside of the water bubble, he tried to use his water bending to get out, but it's no use. He can feel the pressure in his lungs are about to burst. Then he blew out on the water around him as it formed a bubble of air which surrounded his nose and mouth. Naruto is now running towards the bubble as he was pounding it, but it was no use. "Aang, don't worry, I'll get you out!" Naruto cried. "This is so much easier in my head." Then Naruto thought of something as he turned back to Aang. Immediately, he formed a hand seal in front of the bubble. "Kagebunshin!" Then, one clone appeared through a puff of smoke and stood right next to Naruto. The clone suddenly started to gather chakra on Naruto's right arm. Right hand, sorry. Then it formed a large blue sphere onto his hand. The clone disappeared, and Naruto soon was aiming at the bubble. "Rasengan!" Then, Naruto pressed the sphere at the bubbles hard. The sphere had cut through the water. Then the bubble of water popped, and it released Aang. He fell into the ground and was breathing new air. "You okay, Aang?" Naruto asked. That was amazing for what you did back there," I didn't know you were an airbender. Aang said. Airbender? I thought you meant the chakra back there, Naruto said. Chakra? Aang wondered. Let's go! I bet Sakura and Shikamaru are in danger! You're right! Then then Naruto and Aang dashed off to find the others. Okay, 1 second. Prologue is now on my DA, and I got it by this username, and I know it's already made adjustments to the main character's name because it was lame to call him Knight. I facepalmed myself so hard after reading it. Oh, it's really. You gonna be okay there, Danny Lockhart? I mean, the cringe is real, isn't it?
I think we've all been there at some point.
It's okay, yeah.
I just got lucky because my parents threw out all the cringe stuff I did.
Zuko and Iroh are going through the forest as they look around and see in case if they got ambushed. I don't like this place. It makes me feel like we're going through a trap, Zuko complained. Relax, Prince Zuko. I believe that old man might be right around this road. Iroh said. I believe he doesn't. As they continued to keep going, the sound of bigger birds had stopped. Then the entire forest became silent, except the sounds of Iroh's and Zuko's feet. Something's not right, Zuko said as he stopped. It may be, Iroh said. Then shurikens had flown into the air, and they moved fast to strike at Iroh and Zuko. Before they hit, Zuko turned his back and he shot a flame at the flying shurikens. After the flame burned out, Zuko came out of the trees and landed on his feet. Then he took a blade from the sheath on his back. Who are you? Zuko said as he took his battle stance. I'm Shugo, and I am here to beat the hell out of you, Shugo said as he struck the sword to the ground, creating white flames that shot to the earth. Okay. Shikamaru was on the ground, trying to get up from Itachi's surprise attack. He then felt as if a force was pulling his ponytail and carried his body high as his face sees Itachi's. And they say people from the Nara clan can trap enemies with their shadows, but yours won't reach up to mine, Itachi said. You're so troublesome, Shikamaru said painfully. But who's the troublesome now? Itachi asked him. That would be. Then, a gust of wind has blown Itachi away, and Shikamaru landed on the ground safely. The gust of wind came from Aang as he swished his staff at the left, which made the air pushed Itachi at a tree. Azula was ready to strike Sakura with lightning, which she got her cornered, but then Naruto came out and hit Azula's back with his foot. Then 4 more identical Narutos came out, and 4 of them hit Azula individually to push her up. My king! The Naruto said. Then 5 more Narutos came from above and started to hit her back. Naruto Randan! Then Azula landed on the ground hard. Then Aang swished his staff Then Aang swished his staff at the left, and the air had dragged Azula and thrown her where Itachi is. She landed on Itachi's chest, where she looked at him and she blushed when she saw his face. Sorry, Azula said. Mei continues to throw daggers and dart at Sokka and Neji, but the two can't hold their defense for long because Neji's palms are starting to have cuts and Sokka's blade is getting dented. Why are you guys fighting? Your sense of defense is so boring. May yawned. Then, another gust of wind snatched up May and tosses her up to the trees. Then Aang put his staff down and wiped the sweat off his head. Are you guys okay? Aang asked. We're good. We're good, Aang. Besides, Neji was cool back there. You should have seen him deflect the darts back there with his own 2 hands, Sokka said. I know, Sokka, that was your impression. I know, Sokka, that you're impressed back there, but that defense back there has given me minor damage, Neji said as he looked at his 2 hands. Sakura! Yes, Neji! Sakura hurried as she heard him. Now will be a good time to put your medical jutsus to use, since you've learned them from Tsunade. Heal Shikamaru's injuries first, and then you can get to mine, Neji told her. Okay. Then Sakura disappeared immediately to head to Shikamaru. Now let's find the others. Kiba may be done finishing that Tai Li girl, Neji said. Naruto is going to find Gaara and Toph to see if they're okay, Aang said. But are you guys sure about Kiba? Sokka said. Gatsuga! Then they saw a large gray twirling tornado through the trees as it continued to push Ty Lee forward. Then Ty Lee is on the ground and the gray tornado stopped to reveal Kiba within, and in his jacket, Akamaru barked at the guys. Yo, what I miss? Kiba asked. At Gaara and Toph's battle against Deidara, Toph was throwing rocks and the clay spiders as they exploded when they got crushed by the rocks. Gaara made the sand to catch the flying birds to get them from getting them to him. He then caught the clay birds with the sand and they raised up to the level of his face. Sabaku so. He then turned his hands into a fist and crushed the clay birds that were in his. Wait, hold up! I almost lost it there. Then he turned his hand to his fist and crushed the clay birds that were trapped. But at the same time, the birds exploded and caused the sand to disintegrate. Then his eyes looked up and saw Deidara under a leafy branch. Toph, I want you to shoot a rock at your right, Gaara told her. What is it, Morris?
Yeah, just the fact that exploding birds makes you think of this thing I came up with called the crap bird.
Oh.
It just goes crap, crap, and it shits like crazy sometimes.
Ow. Ooh.
Yeah. Weird shit coming in my mind. I was thinking. And me going back and looking into my own stuff. Yeah.
All right. Now let's see where we continue. What makes you say that? Toph asked him. Just do it. Then Toph did what Gaara told her, and she stomped her foot, which made a large rock pop out of the ground, and she punched the rock as it zoomed fast to Deidara. Oh, this is bad, Deidara said as he threw a tiny model, which then turned into a large clay bird. Then the rock hit the first clay bird, and it fell down to the crash. Kisame, Itachi, we have to retreat. These kids are getting stronger if we stay and fight, Deidara said to the speaker. We're on a day, Kisame said in the speaker. Then Kisame jumped back and disappeared into the shadow of trees. He's gone, Katara said when she put down her defense. Katara, are you okay? Aang said as he ran towards her. Aang, I'm so glad you're safe, Katara said when she hugged him. Don't thank me, thank Naruto. He saved me through that nasty bubble. Hey, where is Naruto? Aang wondered. Gaara-san has returned inside his gourd, and he placed the cork back inside. Then Naruto found Gaara and Toph. Hey guys, Whoa, what a mess! What just happened? Naruto said as he looked at the battlefield. Her opponent earlier just used clay models that tried to kill us, but he's gone now, Toph said. Then Gaara and Naruto noticed a clay bird, which had Azula, Itachi, Kisame, Mei, Ty Lee, and Deidara on it. Then Itachi looked back, and he saw Naruto looking at him. Meanwhile, somewhere in a different forest area, Zuko and Iroh are behind a tree, trying to hide from Shugo. Why is this guy having anything to do with me? Zuko wondered. I don't know, but it's best if we keep hiding, Iroh said. Then Shugo had jumped on a branch from the same tree where Zuko and Iroh are hiding. He was ready to strike Zuko with his sword. This is your end! But Zuko had shot a flame at Shugo, and then Shugo landed to the ground of flames. I think he's dead. But Shugo suddenly turned pitch black after the blackness, he turned into Zhao instead. Zuko turned shocked and relieved that he was about to be sick. At the trees, Shugo was safe, right beside Aira with her arm in his shoulder. Then the two disappeared in small black smoke. End of chapter 7.
Hey.
Okay, what do you think of that?
So, sounds reasonably, at least the plot is relatively straightforward.
Yep. Let's see, let me go back into the chat.
Oh, I need a drink.
I call my fanfic Pokemon Storm of Shadows. It was based on Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness. What do you think of the name of my chapter, of my fanfic? I'd say it's pretty good, Danny Lockhart. Storm of Shadows is not a bad name. Okay, given that we have reached serious mode in order to carry ourselves forward, I think we can try squeezing in one chapter before we wrap things up, and we can finally turn our cringe inhibitors back on or some shit. I don't know. And I mean, like, we can now finally detect the cringe. Well, because we have to ignore them in order to actually carry ourselves forward. But now that we've reached this far into chapter 8, I think it's about time we finally turn them back on so we can actually have fun again. Because this is the chapter where Miki tries to put her hand in, tries her best to do, well, a bit of a shipping game, you know? Because past me thought it was a fun idea at the time. And I think I heard my cat.
And I'm back.
Hi, Cole. Come inside. Hi, buddy. Hi, Coco. Hello, my little black man. My little black cat. My little handsome man. Cole decided to come by here.
Aw, kitty.
Yes. His tail is a little bit twitchy, though. He does not like being held. I can't help it.
Cats are very specific about that. Some love it, others hate it.
I can't help it.
And some it actually grows on them.
Alright, Cole. I'll put you down. Okay. Alright. I guess it's about time we can actually tackle chapter 8. Don't you guys? Oh, let's see.
I do.
Let's see. I decided the Pokemon partner for the main character is a Baniri. No, it's not lewd at all. Baniris are cute, you know? Alright, let us now go back into chapter 8, and we can now finally tackle into new material. This is gonna be painful. Chapter 8, Earthly Duo. Another morning came. In a small canyon terrain, the entire gang was resting from the last night. The entire gang was resting from last night's sleep after they got encountered by Azula and her team. Toph is teaching Aang some new earthbending moves, so that if they got encountered by the Fire Nation or the Dark Nens. Meanwhile, not too far from Toph and Aang, Naruto and Gaara were also practicing to improve their attacks. "Come on, Gaara, I'm ready," Naruto said as he formed a hand seal. "Enough already. Just hurry up and go on," Naruto said as he stood on his ground calmly. "Kage Bunshin!" Then, 5 other clones came out of the puff of smoke, and all 6 Narutos came rushing towards Gaara. But the sand came out of his gourd, and it grabbed 3 of the Narutos and crushed them. The other 3 in the sand disappeared. The 3 in the sand disappeared, while the other 3 had jumped on the air and tried to hit him with their feet. But Gaara's sand had blocked the attack. At that few moments, sand spikes impaled into the 3 other Narutos and disappeared in a puff of smoke. "I'm right behind you!" Naruto said as he dashed towards Gaara with the Rasengan in hand. But the sand had shielded his back right before he got hit. "Rasengan!" Then Naruto pushed his hand forward, and the Rasengan could break the sand. But a hand out of the sand had caught the Rasengan, and it pushed it right against Naruto. Then, a sand clone came out of the sand shield and continued to push Naruto forward. "Unbelievable! Gaara's sand can stand against Naruto's whatever that thing is," Sokka said, looking at the battle. Maybe Gaara is like Toph, but it's like a second level of Earth," Katara agreed with Sokka. "Show off," Toph muttered. "You can do it, Gaara!" Aang cheered. "Don't break your stance, Twinkle Toes!" Toph earthbended Aang to return to his position. This jealous bead. And no loot, and no Danny Lockhart, there's no loot in this one.
Okay.
Sandwich.
Ah! Fuck! Do you have to do that?
No. I was not prepared for that volume. Can we not, please?
Alright.
Dude!
I'm just having fun.
Okay. Then the sand had gripped Naruto's hand, which had the Then the sand had gripped Naruto's hand, which had the Rasengan, and the sand clone tossed Naruto to a rock wall, where he landed on his face. He would have been fucking dead. "Sand beats leaf," Kiba said sarcastically as Akamaru barked in agreement. "Well, at least Naruto is trying his best," Neji said. "But do you guys see that? But do you guys see what Gaara did? He's amazing! He's like the greatest earthbender in the world!" When Toph hears this, her feelings got hurt, while she grew mad at the same time. Then suddenly, she earthbent a fist out of rock, which punched Sokka high up. Yeah, he's fucking dead.
You are dead, not big sauce.
Do you think he's coming down? Shikamaru asked Neji. "From the looks of it, he will." After what Sokka said, I think he rubbed it in too much, Sakura said. "Yeah," Katara agreed. Then Toph storms off from the others as Aang tries to approach her. Toph, are you okay? You kind of sounded like you're... I don't need your help, Aang. I'm fine, Toph said angrily. Okay, I get the point. Aang backed out in a bit. You know, you didn't sound like you're fine. Gaara approached near Toph. I am fine. It's just I'm flustered from yesterday's fight. Toph, according from that tone, you sound like you're mad at me. Even I don't know what I do. Look here, Pepper Pants. I gave everything I have away so I can teach Aang earthbending. Things would have gone smoothly until you came along. And if Aang is impressed from you, then you can teach him! Toph yelled as she ran off. Aang and Sakura tried to stop her, but she made a wall of earth to stop Aang and Sakura. This is bad. If I don't learn more earthbending soon, I'll never defeat the Fire Lord, Aang said.
Well, okay, selfish bastard.
Well, he has to. He has until summer's end to defeat the Fire Lord Ozai, because by that point, Sozin's comet would actually help fuel the Firebender's attack. And I mean, have you ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes, I recall the Phoenix King fight.
Ah, okay, good. We should definitely do a movie or episode or show night in the end when it comes to watching shows, you know?
Here, here.
What are we gonna do? Sakura wondered. Neji used his Byakugan and see through the rock wall. Toph went inside the forest from below. We have to split up in order to find her. Neji said, "But what will happen to her? What if she really quitted?" Aang asked. "Don't worry, Aang. We'll find her. You can trust us." Naruto placed his hand on Aang's shoulder. Okay,